Right on. All right. We got our
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Start this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another terrible podcast by comics. I am your host, Eerie Diamond. This is my co-host, Mean Dave. Yay!
Can you hear that?
Dave.
Can you hear my hands?
And Chelsea Bearce sitting in as one of our, we need a third host today. Hi, guys.
Third host.
Hey, Chelsea Bearce. All right, let's get this started. How's everybody doing? Let's go ahead and meet our guests.
Good. All right, so we got, as you know, you know us. Everybody here knows us. We don't have any strangers or any noobs today. So our guests today, well, we have our special guest host, which I believe all of you are familiar with. She had nothing to do, asked if she could come hang out, and I was like, fuck yeah, and that's Chelsea Bearce right here. Well, you guys know her.
Hi.
I'm sure you love her. I love her, so I'm pretty sure you better fucking love her. All right. And then, so our guests today are from completely different areas. I don't even know if they've ever met before. I doubt it. Because they're also from different eras of our local comedy scene as well. So starting off, we got here from the South Bay, regular at Rooster Teeth Feathers when it's open. And that's Ben Delcastillo, everybody. You can give him a round.
Hi, folks.
And then our other guest is the one. I don't even know where the fuck she lives. She's in the valley somewhere. That's all I know. It's like no.
She lives in Sacramento.
You're in Sacramento? Oh, okay. Well, goddamn it, you roll with everybody from the valley up to Sacramento. So I mean, she's a regular comic from all over, ranging from Turlock all through Modesto, Manteca, all the way up to Sacramento, and she ventures down here to the Bay quite often. And this is Jacqui Pirl, everybody. Let her hear it.
Hey, Jacqui!
Oh,
happiest girl in comedy.
Awesome.
Always very happy and in a great mood. That's what's nice about Jacqui.
All right, so we like to kick off our show practicing our listening skills. And how we do that is by we have both our new guests, Ben and Jacqui. You will each give us kind of like a 200-word or less biography, your autobiography. Just tell us your life story up to this point. We'll start with you, Jacqui. What's your life story up to this point?
I'm still stuck on, this is how my brain works. I'm still stuck on 200 words. I'm like counting as
don't worry about that. Just, just a summary,
I was married for 25 years. I lived in Hawaii. I divorced my cheating husband. I needed to get the fuck out of there, off the island. I moved to Sacramento. I have been a writer most of my life. And I decided that instead of writing like corporate speeches for other people to do, I would do them myself. So I started doing comedy at the age of 52.
Wonderful. Look at that. See?
You can reinvent yourself anytime you damn well want.
Cool. See? All right. So if anybody's thinking of getting on stage, Jacqui's the person to talk to on what that feels like. Because, I'm not going to disclose the age of our audience here, but I'm definitely one of the youngest. I might be the fucking youngest now that I look around.
Oh, wait, I'm younger than you.
Ben's the youngest. So speaking of that, let's get our next guest. Ben Delcastillo, give us your life story up to this point.
First of all, I'm just a baby boy. I'm a young spring chicken. I was born in the Philippines. I moved here when I was about 4. And then I've been white ever since. And life's all right, I guess. Comedy's good, and I've lived in the Bay Area most of my life. I went to college in San Diego, came back here, and pursued comedy, and I attained my comedy goals. Some people want to be famous or make it in the movies or have an HBO special, but my comedy goal, which I achieved, is to be Mean Dave's best friend, and
he achieved that last week by giving me a couple cigars.
I didn't give it. I think he stole it from me. I think he stole it from me. But I think he stole it from me. Hey, by the way, Mean Dave, they're fucking. I just had one on Friday. Primo, man. They're tasty. I never had them before.
Oh, the ones you opened, the new box. I made him open
I was saving from a special occasion, but me and Dave was insistent.
Well, here's the thing. He had like 7 good. Were they Arturo Fuentes first or?
I don't know. You said you were coming here with a cigar. Then all of a sudden,
I did bring a cigar, but somebody's
no, you brought it, and then you were like, "Oh, I left
later.
it." You just had to carry it.
Believe me, I saved mine for unless all.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm all for taking from other people first.
Yeah,
it was
we're best friends, so what are we for?
That is special. He said he was saving it for a special occasion, but he achieved his goal. So that's a pretty big occasion.
Oh, it was a very special occasion. I was there.
Was it? Yeah, I felt
would
it.
you
Didn't
like
feel
to,
like it, but
Chelsea,
anyway.
would you like to chime in about yourself in 200 words or less?
No.
No.
Yeah, she's a co-host. Eerie, she's not a guest. Everybody knows her here. Everybody knows her here. That's what. Yeah, that's right. We're.
Dave, did you just call her a coho?
Whoa! Easy.
The coho.
Hey, you know what though? At least he's saying that he's also a hoe.
I love her. I love her so much.
I see how this fucking show
I love
is.
you too,
All right.
Chels.
All right, it's gonna be mayhem today. I can already tell. All right. That being said, we're moving on to our next topic, which is just our weekly check-in because we're in the COVID times and everybody's going goofy. Actually, we'll go with a different background this time. How is everybody holding up this week? So I guess let's start with you, Eerie. How are you holding up this week?
I'm doing okay. I actually had a really hilarious match game last night, and it was really fun. I know, baby. Where were you? I know you had to do something else though, but
yeah, I did a show where it was just like a straight comedy set, and it made like they suck my soul. Like it's just straight comedy shows on Zoom are terrible. I don't like them. I like shows that have like interactive things and like I can play, but just trying to do straight comedy on Zoom it's god awful.
Yeah, I know it's terrible. It's terrible, and yet still doing it.
No, every single day. I logged into this. I wasn't even a part of this. Here I am.
I know. No, I'm actually doing very well right now, which is good. Yay! And so there you go. That's me. I don't really have anything good to say that isn't normal. What I normally say. But Dave, how are you doing? I want to ask you how you're doing. No one ever. I feel like we don't ask enough about you. How are you doing?
Here's the shit. That's why.
This is what you call deferring. You don't have to address your own issues if you're focusing on other people. But yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. Are you talking about the show we did last night, Chelsea? Where we just did?
Yeah.
They were fine. They tipped nicely.
It is. It's fine doing comedy because where else are you going to do it? But I get more anxiety for comedy where it's just like do your jokes. Hope that the 3 people that are unmuted laugh. It's just. But if it's interactive or a game show or something like that.
I know what your problem is that you are used to people kissing your ass in the audience who love you. I'm not. I'm used to audiences who will laugh but then still say fuck it. Right? And yes, a Zoom audience, it's harder for a Zoom audience to just be like, oh my God, you're fucking amazing, and all that shit.
My God.
They're not going to do that at a Zoom show.
I'll tell you what right now. This is a Zoom show,
Oh, Chelsea.
and I'll do it right now. I love you, Chelsea. You're the best.
Look at that face. I gotta say, you look even prettier.
Chelsea's a killer. She's used to killing. It is hard to kill a Zoom show. That's just, I seen it within all of the killers. And they all have, because Anthony K followed you last night. And if you wanted to see a comedian who really poo-pooed, like, he shouldn't even, I don't even know why he showed up. All he spent was like 10 minutes just bitching about Zoom and then kind of throwed some jokes in there. The producer wasn't even too happy with it. We were talking later, but he was fine, but I knew what he was doing. He wasn't really like, that was what he was trying to do, but it was like, it wasn't working. Cause it's like, if people are in a Zoom show, I'd be like, just be sitting here, man, like podcasts on Zoom are stupid. Like, and we got everybody here. Like, why the fuck would I do that?
Right.
And, and there's the Venmo sign.
If you're enjoying yourself, please tip us.
Yes, donate to the comics today through Venmo.
That's true, Dave. And I mean, I can only be mad at you for a certain extent because you and I are gonna get married. I feel like your mom should know that. So, hello.
Don't worry, my mom's she trashed me. They've been trashing me. She called me a brat earlier in the year or in the summer. Like, I was like, was Dave a brat? My mom's like, yes, he was. I'm like, no, I fucking wasn't. I was all right. I had my problems, but a brat, really? Jesus.
I can see it. I can see it.
Right there.
I can see it.
All right, let's
You're not a model child, Dave.
You're not even a model adult.
Enough about me. Enough about me. We got to move on. Let's get to our guests.
Oh, you're deflecting.
Deflecting. That's the word. Right. You're right. It's not deferring.
Jacqui, how are you doing during this pandemic? How are you feeling? How are you doing?
All I can hear, I think me and Dave's theme song is like lowered expectations, and he's never.
That is true. Yeah. From
I heard that playing in my head. Yeah. I'm doing okay. I actually did a live show last night in front of like 35 people outdoors in Henron, California, on the flatbed of a truck that had flat tires that they'd set up on stage. So.
Love that.
In a fucking cowboy bar where people were wearing Trump shirts. And yeah. And it was awesome. We had a transgender lady get up and she was asking the crowd what their genitals are because she didn't want any surprises after the show. And they literally played into it. The dude goes, they're big. And she goes, good. Thank you for telling me that because I didn't want any surprises. We had a dude that got up in a fuck the police shirt and just went off on Trump, and they were having it. It was like, wow. I felt hopeful.
It's like old America right there. Yeah.
Yeah. They were, because the comics were funny. They were
there you go.
So they were listening to them because they were funny. And that's a way to connect. You know, I'm sick of people being like, cancel me if you can't. No, you know what? Sit down and have a fucking beer with me. Sit down and have a fucking meal with me, and you and I can talk as people. Maybe I can see a little bit of your point. Maybe I can see a little bit of, you can see a little bit of my point. Let's stop canceling people. Wow, I went off on a rant. I'm doing okay because I had a good night last night.
Jacqui.
I'll eat with anybody if they're paying. So yeah.
Right. I'll buy you a beer. I'll buy you a
gladly
soda. I'll buy you
yeah.
Absolutely. Ben, how are you doing? Are you doing okay, man?
I mean, nothing's changed. I mean, COVID's a fake virus, and
the Earth is flat.
Without laughing.
Oh no, I'm doing all right, man. I got a dog and I got a wife and
you got a blanket. I see you got a blanket.
I got a blanket. I mean, Dave buys sometimes. I've adjusted a little bit. You know, my wife just works from home more than she actually does. I've been going to the office since I have not worked from home. But you know, we make do. You find joy in the little things, you know. That's what me and Dave always taught me. He said, you know what, man, you may be down your luck, but you know what, there's always something to smile about. And I say, you know what, Dave, I call him Dave. Everyone calls him Mean Dave. I just call him Dave because he's not mean to me. So I say, you're right, Dave. There's always something good to smile about. And then he stole 2 cigars from me.
But he's not mean to you, right? He just steals your possessions.
I'm just glad Ben showed up and is funny today. That's not really the case.
Wow.
Good.
Wow. So so far you have consulted 2. Okay. Anyways.
Good. What are you talking? Chelsea, I don't think we asked directly how you're doing. Did we ask you? How are you doing?
No, but the show's not about me, and I have a lot to say. So let's not. What's that, Ben?
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to promote my. This is my cause that I from the bottom of my heart. I know there's a lot of things going on, and there's a GoFundMe and all that stuff. This is the thing that I believe in the most here. So please, if you can, that's what I love this. So you know,
she keeps that sign up for everything she does because she does the thing that Chelsea does. Actually, list all the things that you do. This is probably the hardest working comic that I know.
This is the hardest working quarantined comic I've seen.
List all the gigs that you do in a week, Chelsea.
Trivia. She's got
I do.
Oh God.
I do trivia twice a week. And I also I have a cake business that I do.
I would love my pie cake.
That's still flourishing. People still eat cake, thank God.
Yeah.
I have a 4-year-old son. I have 2 weekly shows that I do and produce, and I'm also you don't know this one, but I'm also co-creating and co-producing a brand new game show that is going to be broadcast on Facebook Live, Twitch, and YouTube TV starting October 5th. We're in the last planning projects of it right now, but it's a full-on. We have backing. We have an LLC. We have it's a legit game show, which is
so cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's pretty cool. So all of you will be. You guys are all going to be contestants on it. So please stay tuned. But yeah, I had to stay busy. I'm one of those people where if my plate's not overflowing, then I'm not doing enough. So I'm just constantly working. So.
Yeah, so
Can you
fuck
tell
you,
us-
Ben.
I mentioned really quick, thank you, Denise. Denise just donated to us. And if you feel like you really like us, you should donate too. Thank you,
Yeah,
Denise.
I see that I can't fit that in a post-it. Otherwise, I would.
All right, moving on to our next topic
I
here.
can fit it on a
Like
post-it.
a little
Let me
post-it.
get a
Got
post-it.
our next topic here.
You asked Chelsea what the game show is called. Is there a name to it?
Yes, you can. Yeah, it's actually called "Who Wrote This Shit," and it's a very very simple
I love
concept.
it.
It's hilarious. We have a theme song that's been written for us by a musical theater producer in New York, and I mean it's a thing. So keep your eye out for it. You will see it. I'm gonna
Is it
flood
Robbie?
your
Is
You
it
know what my
Robbie?
favorite game to play is?
Robbie's my co-creator. He's co-creating it with me.
Robbie is? Oh my God. He is so funny. He's so fucking funny. Oh my God.
All right.
Robbie is hilarious, dude.
That's great.
He's my new bestie, even though I've never
We
met him.
will,
I'm
we
telling
will
you
promote
right now.
this.
He
We
can
will
steal my
promote this.
stars any day.
We will
You know,
promote
I
this
just love
further. We will promote this further. All right. But I want to ask everybody: can you breathe? Are you able to
it. Oh,
breathe?
can you
right
breathe?
now?
Okay, I
'Cause
got
we're
back
in, everybody's in various places where this guy is actually swallowing fire, but we're all the air quality has been a big thing.
Jacqui, I think you're up the furthest north. Yeah, you're up. Well, I mean, besides me and Dave's parents, because they're up the furthest. I think.
They're in
right?
Ukiah. Oddly enough, they've been kicking it in their backyard a lot. That's
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but they have oxygen
Here?
tanks.
No,
So
Mom
it doesn't
said
matter.
no. You're wrong. No, your mom
they
just
were
said
last week. They were what? So
Last
you're not
week,
anymore, Mom. It's indoors
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, air quality is 162.
Hmm.
We're kind of staying indoors.
But does it
Yeah.
does it matter even if you have oxygen tanks? Does it matter what the air?
Wow, Ben.
Yeah, like I said, he's bringing the thunder today.
You guys have
Oh,
been
wow.
Chelsea Bearce. That's my favorite game. That's my favorite game.
funny.
Oh my
dude.
I play it all
God.
the time.
This is like
Let's get
turned
the high
into a
score,
roast.
people.
This is turned into a roast, and
No, it's not.
Rebecca and Mark, we have 169 in slow.
Hey,
Can you-
69.
What?
Again.
Oh wow, why are you telling me
169.
about that, Dave's
And I
mom?
have exercise-induced asthma, so I haven't been out in forever. I'll shut up now, Dave.
But no, but didn't
Oh
you,
no!
No, why does
Ooh.
Mark? Why do you look so angry, Mark?
you went out last night though, didn't you? I thought I saw.
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah.
You went,
It
yes,
wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Yeah,
you're
it
good.
wasn't too bad. But I'm not going out, like I'm not out running or doing anything like that
Gotcha.
right now.
Who wants to do that?
I went for a walk with this guy on Friday. I got a picture of him here. This guy is Kike. There's a funny story about him because I got a message from somebody saying, hey, you might want to check on Kike because they showed me a message he got. It was a comic, Sergio Novoa. You all know him probably. You met him. And I guess he had him on his podcast. They were talking about some vulnerable stuff, and then he sent this message that said, "Hey," or he said, "Thanks for being on the podcast." He goes, "Yeah, thanks for having me. I might not be on this earth for very much longer." Or da 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 da. So it sounded suicidal, right? And naturally, for whatever fucking reason, comics that haven't talked to me in ages, they message me when they want to
I've
absolve
done it.
themselves from guilt. Yeah, they're like, "Hey, I'm worried about so and so. Let me get me and Dave on it so I don't have to deal with it." So Sergio messages me. Says, hey, you might want to hit up Kike because I think he's going through some stuff, and he told me what happened. And I know Kike. I've seen him go through a lot of depression over the years, and he's not what I would call a guy who's suicidal. He's a little angry dude, and he's definitely got his troubles and whatnot. Never gotten the depressed, like, I'm going to end it all vibe from him. And so I contacted him, and he didn't respond until the next day. And then, what was it? But before that, I saw him post something, and that's when I realized what this was all about. He posted that he was taking a dump, and he saw blood, and he was shitting blood. And that's when I knew. And then he went to the doctor, and he had the doctor stick his fingers up his butt and do the checkups and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't be talking about this unless it was on his Instagram. He posted it on his Instagram, and so I knew exactly what it was. It's like he thinks he's dying. That's it. It's not that he's suicidal. And so then next thing you know, I got roped into Kike hitting me up to go help him move like four things out of his room. So now I'm helping him move some shit. And then we got there. Well, no, as soon as we got there and he told me what the deal was, I went to his house, never been to his house. I told him absolutely not, because he didn't have it coordinated at all. He was going to rip up carpet because it smelled like cat piss in there, which it did. And so he's going to be ripping up all this carpets. He had no game plan whatsoever. And one thing that we were just moving that was already outside, as we picked it up, it was all falling apart. And I'm like, I'm not going to be responsible for moving any more fucking shit here that's going to break apart. You have no game plan for removing this carpet. You're just going to have to live in piss for a little while, all right? Or get some cleaner, or whatever the fuck. And his brother's in construction. He can help him. So, and we had a big long talk, and then we went to go to Safeway, and then we did a walk around the lake in Newark. For those who, my parents know the lake in Newark. We did a walk around there, had a good talk. And he was glad. He was just glad. We're gonna actually like have a weekly hangout, just to kind of give us something to look forward to. But yeah, I got roped into this shit all because of Sergio Novoa, which was good. Like I told Kike, I said it was good because it just gave me a chance to hit him up and hang out and stuff. And but he's not suicidal. He was, like I said, he just got scared because he was shitting a little blood. Who doesn't shit a little blood from time to time? All right.
I gotta tell you, Dave. After that story, I think we're all suicidal.
Boy.
Good Lord, I was
Ben, you're killing it, Ben.
All right, Ben.
He really is he's like the suicide savior, you know. I was
No, I'm
feeling
not. No, I'm not.
like
Oh,
really
good. Now I know who to call. Yay.
No.
and I hit up Mean Dave, and his response was, I don't know, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
You're not?
Common sense. No. Anybody who knows, like, who really knows me, yes, hit me up if you're, all that kind of stuff. But I have to say, most of my friends can handle their depression. They're good at it.
Dave, if people call you, they're depressed and maybe suicidal, do you turn on a different switch where you're like, because, I know you like the way I know you.
No.
And you're just the same?
What do you mean? No, I'm saying you don't know me.
Like, I'm depressed.
Do you tell them they're hacky in their suicidal attempts? Or
jumping off the bridge. Oh, that's original. Yeah, that's mean.
That's so hacky.
That's how he dissuades you from jumping off the
bridge.
I don't keep track of all the people when they reach out on the vulnerable tip of shit. And people do confide a lot of stuff with me that I'm like, I wish I didn't know. But luckily, most of those people don't piss me off. Like I had to put I had to put this comic on timeout this week. All because, you guys all know him. Some of you like him, some of you don't. Where is he? This motherfucker, he's on timeout.
That motherfucker is on timeout.
Yeah, he's on timeout. He's on timeout with me. All because I was asking a question, and I didn't even
alive anymore.
I didn't comment it. I didn't post it. I didn't get it all in. I just asked him a simple question, and then he was like, "Stay out of it, man. Stay out of it."
Did you ask him a question publicly, or was this something that you?
I know him well enough to know it's like I'm not gonna bring up something that I know is potentially embarrassing, and whatever. And he was dealing with it.
What about the post him and I were talking about that female singer we like? Was it?
I know this had nothing to do with anybody but just him.
Okay, because him and I were going back, and we like to say music. Him and I. Okay.
No, it had nothing to do with. Nothing to do with that artist, that Dar Williams or whoever the fuck.
Yeah. Yes, knock it off. She's my Melvins.
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying it had nothing to do with her. Not everything's about you, Melanie. That's all. You know, it's all good.
Are you
no.
sure?
Can't please everybody today. All right, so moving on. Let's see. So we can breathe. We're all like in the 160s. It sounds like.
Yeah, I'm at 170 where I'm
Better
at.
today than it was yesterday.
Yeah, it should be better tomorrow. That's what I'm
We're
hearing.
at the like red and purple. That's where we're at.
All right. Well, this is a good topic then actually to kind of move into from there. What's your problem? We got problems this week.
I don't have the pictures of them.
Let's start with Chelsea. What's your problem this week?
What's your problem, Chelsea?
Your problem.
Well, my current one is this guy sitting in a fucking prison who won't shut the fuck up. He's trying to get me money though, so that's fine. Ben, you're a dick. What's my you know what? I will tell you this. I just talked about this on the previous show I was on. I recently let somebody back in my life who I thought I could like trust. And it turns out that they were still very toxic. And I don't know how many, shut up, Ben, because I'm trying to be vulnerable for a second, so I need you to just mute for a sec.
Got it.
Mute him.
Like, I don't know how many of you have done this, but when you think you can give somebody a second chance to, like, enter your life or, you know, try again or be a decent human, and I made the mistake of thinking I could give this person the benefit of the doubt or thinking that they could have changed or been better or made better, and they completely were not. They were toxic as fuck. It was a previous relationship that I had, and it turns out that he is completely, like literally obsessed with me to the point where when I broke it off and said, you know, I thought that you were different, I thought I could bring you around my kid, but I can't. He broke into my mom's house with me and my son in it. And he said, well, you weren't answering my text. I asked you to come outside. And I said, that does not give you any right to break into my mom's house. And so then I started feeling unsafe. And there was a time, you know, because you know that saying, like, if I can't have you, no one can have you. So then I started feeling like that. And my horror-soaked film, like horror film-soaked brain is just like went on overload. And so I've been having a really, you know, I've been going through this thing of like, you need to be okay with yourself. You need to be, because I'm finding that I date and I like bring people into my life who really aren't whole people. Like they're not okay with just them. They have no self-love. And then I'm like, well, I can change that. I can fulfill that. Da, 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 da. And it's like, because I see it as a fixer. You see this, Jacqui? It's a thing, right? You do this. Huh?
I'm right there with you.
You can't flip guys. It's not like flipping a house. You can't do it. You can't.
I know. And it's
but to convince ourselves we can't do it.
You can't do it. There has to at least be what they call in real estate good bones, like moral fiber. You know, truly can love somebody, and then maybe you can help them to change some things up. But you can't.
Good.
You can't find someone with no moral fiber and is completely like in a fight with you, like in your soul in a fight with you the whole time. Yeah. No, like I love you and now you're the fucking enemy. That's what that is. That's
right. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So that was what I was dealing with this week, and it was just like on top of everything else, it's like, come the fuck on. Like I don't want to have to be worried about my life or protecting my child from actual harm. Like it's not okay.
Yeah.
That part really bugged me. So so that was, I guess it's not really my problem, but it was a problem that I was dealing with.
Oh, that's a problem.
That's a big problem.
No one's stalking us.
Yeah.
Not today.
Oh my God. It just looks like Eric is just coming up behind you, like in the photo. Like, it's like getting ready to strangle you or something. It's so
yeah. No, it's perfect for this segment. Ben, what the fuck's your problem this week, man?
Yeah, what's your problem, Ben? What's your fucking problem?
Well, I got muted from a Zoom show.
I wanted to get wanted Chelsea to not be interrupted. That's all. I was just trying to protect her.
No, I try to be optimistic with everything, you know. My problem, if I had to, I mean, things are good. I try to suppress the problems. You know, that's
Yeah,
what
I can tell. I can tell that. That's for
Sit
sure.
down.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, everyone's got worse things, so I'm all right. You know, I'm in a tank top. What the hell's wrong with me? You know.
And he
So
has
that
a
question answered itself right there. All right. So,
Nothing comes out. Nothing comes to mind.
No art, no lamp, no nothing.
so he's got a lamp. That's why he's sweating. I've done in that setup because he's got light directly shining right into his face. That's what.
That's all.
Yeah, when I was there last week, that's why I was sweating right there. It's like a heat lamp. You know?
When you were in the room, people kept coming in and out of the room, and we were on a lot of like ball and talk.
Yeah, we were talking about balls for 45 minutes. That was on Chelsea's show. That was on.
Then
Yeah.
10 minutes of like, I think there was a little bit of boob talk or something for 10 minutes. It was a
I
weird.
wish there was more boob talk. There was.
Check out on YouTube. You can see there was a lot of ball shaving talk. It was really bizarre.
I don't know if it's on YouTube. Did you guys put that shit on YouTube, Chelsea? I don't think so.
No, that was definitely an episode we would not promote like that.
Yeah, that's ball talk.
I was hoping maybe.
It was still a good time. We had a good time, and there was
a great time.
Good audience.
I'd like to say that I will donate any tips that I make tonight to like one frame for Ben, like something to a piece of art.
A piece of art.
I will buy you something to hang on your wall.
Yes,
you know what's nuts is I have a ton of art. I actually
they do.
I would like for you to come by and hang out. Not mean Dave. I'd like for you to hang out. And,
Chelsea, I think you should just make him your Venmo at Chelsea Bearce sign and send it to him because I think he would put that on the wall.
Steal me some cigars when you're over there too.
Come by, dude. That's all.
Two doors right there.
Listen, we can do. There's 10 of us here, or we can just do this Zoom show
live.
Yeah. Next week.
We got to get to Jackie's problem. Jacqui, what's your problem this week?
Jacqui, what's the fucking problem?
What's my fucking problem, man? Chelsea, I totally heard you. Like, I just want to say that because I spent 6 years in the end of my marriage, and every now and then he would come back and he'd be that person that I loved, that person that I could see behind all his problems. And I believed in that, and I kept believing in it. This isn't my problem this week. I fucking left that. But I just wanted you to know, Chelsea, I heard that. I really heard that. Like,
I appreciate it.
From my problem, I'm fucking lonely, and I miss comedy, and I miss hugging people. I'm a real big hugger, so it's hard. I hate it. I've realized that I'm not as good a company as I thought I was because I live alone with a cat, and I'm lonely. That's my problem.
Hey, why don't you call that guy from the 6 years? That guy.
What is wrong with you? Have you not been listening to anything?
He's got a problem. I think he'd fix it temporarily. Quick fix.
Oh fuck! Yeah. No, sex was good. That's another. I'm one of those people where some dude shows up with a dozen red flags, and I'm like, oh, isn't that sweet? You know.
For me? Is that what you say? Are those dozen red flags for me? For me? I'm gonna go put them in a vase right now.
All about me. Oh my God.
You brought those?
You brought those just for me. They're all out there. Yeah.
Oh my God, you remember Diet Coke? Oh my God.
Oh my God. That's so cool.
Yeah. I hear you, girl. I hear you.
Yeah. So,
I'm sorry. We kind of just had a slumber party. Are you okay?
No, we did.
The tender moments, believe me, I let them be tender between everybody.
Okay,
and that's what this show's about. It's not just for laughs. It's for support.
It's
for all the needy shit that people need that I can survive.
I have a needy thing.
So I just tap out a little bit, let you guys kind of handle it, and then I'll come back in when it's time.
Hey, Dave.
What?
That was because I tried to I couldn't think of anything because right. But I also often go to my close friends for input and stuff like that because they know me.
I know. Yeah, no, they tell me because they bitch to me about everything you're complaining about.
Oh, Dave, just for 20 seconds, I'm actually curious, and I would take it to heart. What is my problem?
Your problem? Well, I'm not gonna. I mean, last week
please do. I don't care.
The problem was you had a lot of people over your house, and I think you were a little overwhelmed, and then you got a little drunk yourself, and then you're like, "Where did all these people come from?" And so you were like, "How do I get them the fuck out?" And then we all.
This happened to that Instagram guy. Remember, he was like, "I invited."
That's last week's problem.
200 showed up.
Well, it goes with the week. I mean, Saturday. That is true. That was last week's problem. Okay, that's a good point.
Dave, this next topic I don't understand. So
don't worry. I will explain it. We're moving on. This is a topical discussion because here's the thing. If you're unaware, there's been in the news or there's been a hashtag that's been going around to cancel Netflix all over this movie that's been highly twisted and misunderstood. It's a French movie. It's about young kids that are young girls that are like dancing or whatever, and it's a movie that addresses the over sexualization of young women and just children in kind of our landscape of entertainment and whatever and all that stuff. And we're in America, the home of the child pageant and shit. Meanwhile, while all that shit's going on, Captain America leaked his dick on Instagram, and everybody is okay with it. It's just one of those things. Like I'm fine with it. It's like he did it by accident. He didn't.
How did I miss Captain America?
It happened briefly.
I gotta get on the internet right now.
Everybody's saying he's packing too. Everybody's making a million Mjolnir jokes, saying like, "Who knew that he was packing Thor's hammer?" I've seen it, like a bunch of people posting it. But the point being,
send it to me.
I'm gonna find it right now.
It's not. You're not. You may find the pit. Jason, have you found?
Put it in your background. Make it your background.
No, you haven't found it yet. It's around. Like there's.
Make it your background, Dave.
No, I'm not making it. I'm not. I'm not finding the dick pic. My parents are here. I'm not gonna fucking do that.
We talked about
my parents are here. How the table
on my show, and it's still out there.
I think your mom's seen a dick, Dave.
No, but she doesn't.
I bet you your mom's seen a dick. Dave, are you aware of that? That she's probably she's.
Oh my gosh! Hey Dave, hey Dave,
one dick in her life.
Hey Dave, you don't think Mark's got a dick pic floating around out there?
Mark, do you have a dick pic floating around?
Oh my gosh, that guy right there. Oh, you kidding me?
I will.
Too paranoid of the internet. All right.
Yeah, but it's a work. Oh, here we go.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're embarrassed, Dave. I'm so happy.
Into the 21st century. I'm not that embarrassed, really.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. I'm just respectful of my parents. Like unlike some people. Anyway, my point being. No,
he had a point with the cancel Netflix. He was going somewhere.
I'm trying to get to the point here. Is that everybody's up in arms over a movie that they saw like one picture of that they don't even understand. It took. I don't go looking this shit up all that often. It took an easy Google search just to figure out what the fuck this movie was about.
You haven't starred on you.
I made this point on the Suzette Vanetti show earlier. America right now that's getting all pissed off about like saying like, oh, this cutie shit, it's pedophile, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. Right now they sound like the dude who's at the bar who's like saying a bunch of homophobic shit. Who's like saying, yeah, you're gay, and it turns out the homophobic dude is the gayest person at the bar. That's what America sounds like right now. It's like seeing all of this pedophilia where it's not, and yet we are the culture that spawned child beauty pageants, that's had all kinds of, like the movie Kids was out years ago that dealt with a lot of this shit. And the fact is, and I'm not saying like these are the problems. They're not. It's a movie. Everybody's overreacting to this shit. Meanwhile, this guy, he is watched by more children in this country. This guy is owned by Disney. All right. His dick, his dick is going to be heard about by kids who know how to get on the internet and do all this shit. They're learning through Zoom, for fuck's sake. And yet everybody's like, that's America's dick right there. Everybody's totally like, it's okay. And so that's sort of like, yeah, it's some dumb shit as far as I'm concerned.
I guess because it's in this Instagram.
I can't find it. I do have Lenny Kravitz.
But it's not. You don't. There's not like a mirror picture.
When Jacqui, when Lenny Kravitz busted out of his pants, that was some hot shit right there, huh? Okay.
Lisa Bonet is the single most person on earth.
Fuck that bitch! Fuck that bitch! Lisa Bonet she's just scooping up all the good dick. You know what I'm saying? Fuck her. She's trying to make like a elite race of people. Like
John
hottest
Bonet.
men in the world.
This sounds like America right now.
Fuck that
Right
bitch.
here. This is.
Fuck her.
Okay.
I just want to be.
I mean, I love her, but fuck her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to be reincarnated as her. I mean, Jason Momoa and Lenny Kravitz.
oh, and she's making like perfect.
Hey, Jacqui,
like,
who do you prefer? Do you prefer Lenny Kravitz or
like,
Jason
the
Momoa?
elite race of people. Like, fuck you. Like,
She was married to both of them.
It's
But
so
who do you like
annoying.
better? Would you
A lot
prefer?
of penis
Oh,
obsession.
sorry, that was my trigger button. I'm sorry, Jacqui.
Well,
Who do I like better?
right.
Who's ringing my doorbell first?
Yeah, right. Let's just. How about both of you do this? I mean, I
All
could
right,
probably.
all right.
also
Are we
go
done?
with
Are we done trying to decide which one?
You know what my problem is, Dave? No.
This. Yeah, I've got your problem.
All right.
Yeah, I know. I got
Chelsea, what do you think about Captain America?
Penis
Lisa?
envy.
I got
That's the problem.
I don't know. I'm having fun listening to you guys because you're going off. But I mean, it's just, I feel like what Dave is saying is completely right, because it's just that people choose different things to be upset about when, if you look at the scope of things, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. It's like when WAP came out, okay? Like, okay, here's a song, Wet Ass Pussy, 2 women are singing it, let's lose our fucking mind. It's just like, no, we've had worse songs out there. The big thing is that it's women now, so it's like, big dick energy, what?
It was the woman that made this movie. That's the thing. A woman made that movie. Larry Clark, a dude, made Kids years ago in the 90s. And even though that had controversy again, and that movie was way more sexualized in terms of the context of the movie, and he's actually known for being a total lech in his films. I love his movies too, but they are uncomfortable, and they deal with a lot of. That's the thing. It's like people can't even be adults anymore.
Yeah, why can't?
Yeah.
The bottom line is where I'm just like, what the fuck are you upset about? And the fact is, it's like they're saying cancel Netflix, and it's like it's probably Netflix that's keeping all the people closest in your life watching something so that they're not, molesting your child. So it's like you're probably going to want to keep your Netflix around.
A very important word there, Dave, is the word uncomfortable. And it's like, right now we're in one of the most sensitive times of where you trigger people. Everyone gets super annoyed. Wait, I'm going to write a fucking review and da-da-da-da. I'm going to get canceled and da-da-da-da. It's just like everyone's so sensitive about tiny ass shit. And it's like, as comics, we experience this stuff all the time. It's like, we're supposed to be the ones who can say the things that like civilians can't, and it's like, and then people get super upset if we say something that's too far. And it's like, that's our job. That's what we're supposed to do.
We've all seen this, I'm sure, where people are arguing on your thread, on a Facebook thread, or just in general online or whatever, or even if it's been through a text, it's always through some texting or whatever, where you're arguing and yet you notice you're agreeing. That people are just care so much about just talking themselves, they're not even noticing that they're agreeing.
They're agreeing.
Arguing.
Still arguing.
They're saying the same thing, and they're just like, well, the thing is, and actually, and all
That's
this.
right.
My favorite part of the Facebook thread thing is when they go off on a completely different. I call it "What about the children?" Where you
totally. That's what all this stems from.
What about the children? And you're like, what the fuck are you even talking about? This has nothing to do with what we were even talking about in the first place. And by the way, side note, Dave fucking loves that. He loves that. Dave,
I love what?
You making beef on you love making beef on
I
Facebook.
did. It's gotten a little now. It's funny. I have to now be careful with my wording to make sure that, like, I did post something about this very subject right before I was starting to do the Zoom shows, and I wanted to be cautious about the wording of it, so that it was so that I'm not like sitting here trying to be, because here's the thing, people are just dirt stupid today. So the moment I start getting wordy, the moment I start getting like really like, let me get fucking intellectual here, I just like, no, cut it down, less words, more stupid, put it in more stupid terms. So then the post was just dumbass American, oh my God, cuties, I can't even. And then also dumbass American, oh my fucking God, it's Captain America's dick pic, woohoo, that's America's dick. And that's, and it's not doing bad for a Sunday. But that's just what the post was.
Just to have fun with people.
Well, I mean, but the thing is also, I'm trying to put it in terms to where I'm not going to attract the paragraph motherfuckers. And those are the people that have to write a paragraph to thinking that they're educating.
What about the children? You know?
Well, it's not just them too. It's always it's motherfuckers that, it's not just people that disagree. There's the people that also agree and like, yeah, Dave, actually it's very interesting. And here's a lot of fucking essays that I never wrote in college because I dropped out of high school. And and now I'm like some internet fucking genius on every topic that I think that I know everything about. And it's just all the same shit. But it's more just the fact that it is, people do kind of need to relax, communicate a little better off their computers and their phones.
Ben said that your hair is flat and needs volume. Do you want to talk to Ben about your hair?
Not at all. He's wearing a fucking hat. How would he know?
Yeah, Ben,
right.
I'll invite my ex over for a barbecue.
Okay, that's some good hair, Ben.
We've talked a lot about
really
Chris Evans' penis.
hair.
I think here's the other thing too, and I'll say this, and then we're going to move on to the next topic.
Okay, go.
Chadwick Boseman. It's not even been a month since Chadwick Boseman's death. Chris Evans' penis shouldn't be leaving his pants for like at least a good 2 months after that. I mean, just out of honor for his fellow Avenger. Like, there should be no, let alone, and if he does have to leave his pants, no phone camera should be around it. No nude. No nude for at least a couple months, just out of honor of the Black Panther.
That was excellent, Dave. That was fucking excellent.
Not only, yes, has it been less than a month since he passed away, but also September 11th. So,
yeah. See, somebody forgot.
Keep your tower in your pants. Tuck it in.
Right.
As Chelsea always says, tuck
Here,
it in.
I got building 7 right here, baby. You're like, no, he's not. No, it's only fucking see that shit. Anyway, all right. So moving on. That's enough dick talk for that.
How did we as a society become so uncomfortable being uncomfortable?
When?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been the last 4 years. I mean, before even like it, I think it just started with the Trump shit because people couldn't. It's strange. I mean, I remember seeing all this stuff with Bush when Bush was in office and the Bush reelection.
Yeah, but
that's why I was like, when Trump first got elected, I'm like, here's the thing, the more that you work yourself up, the more that you'll just start flipping out over any little fucking thing. And the fact that when shit does hit the fan, it's best to, you calm the fuck down. You notice all these people that are dealing with their fires, like everybody's monitoring fires and they're having to evacuate and all that kind of shit. It's you know what they're not doing? They're not running around their house panicking, ripping their hair out like, oh my fucking God, a fire! They're just like, let's pack up, let's get the shit, let's get the fuck out of here before anything burns. Because panicking does nobody any good. And I feel the same thing that's what I think right now social media is benefiting.
Kind of all dead inside that we make up this bullshit to feel something that doesn't even have anything to do with us?
True, I think so. I mean, you noticed?
Can
you remember not too long ago?
It gets your fucking adrenaline going.
Remember not too long ago there was like a huge explosion in Beirut or Lebanon, Lebanon.
Yeah, on the port.
No, it happened twice already.
Yeah, and we're just sort of like, moving on. Well, Black Panther's dead. Okay, well now moving on. They did the Sunday memorial. Moving on. Chris Evans dead. All right. Well, cuties. Oh my God.
Chelsea.
Well, I was gonna say, Dave brought up an interesting point about, like when Bush was, like in office and things that he was witnessing and stuff like that. But I have to say, with all the things that are going on in the world today, as terrible as things have gotten, it has provoked a lot of people who have never been involved in politics or prone to follow politics to do that, because that's 100% who I was. I was never brought up to talk about money. I was never brought up to talk about politics. I was never brought up to know this shit, because it was just kind of like, this is untalked. This is unsaid. This is not polite conversation. And now I'm at the point where it's like, no, this is shit that I need to know about. So I'm actually making an active choice to know as much as I can when it comes to this worldly stuff and things that are going on in the in our lives and blah blah blah, because I want to be informed, and not only is it great for someone in entertainment to know what's happening so that I can make relevant points, but I mean, it's just now, yeah, it's shitty, but this is also forcing a new generation to take charge and give a fuck,
or just calm down, because that's what I love about my nephew, who's with is the nephew still with you guys?
Is this Chip? Is this
my parents here?
He went back yesterday.
Yesterday.
How old
okay.
is he?
He's 15.
15. He's 15.
Nice.
And the thing about him, I mean, the thing that I love about him is more that, you know, in an age where everybody's obsessed with social media, even the kids and all that kind of stuff, he's got very little interest in social media. He's into playing his trumpet. He's into editing his short films or his music videos and stuff like that.
That's good parenting on his mom's part. Sorry. Good for
I don't
you.
want to give my sister too much credit, but I'm just saying.
He'll be the favorite child.
I think there's a combination.
Maybe
of factors.
grandparents too.
No, there's definitely a combination of factors, but he's just one of these kids where I'm like, I look at him and say he's he's got a group of friends, and when I see them and their videos that they do, they have a band called 13 Minutes to Panda, and they just, I don't know, something about them. I hope that more of the generation is kind of indicative of them, where they're just not. I mean, it's kind of like. I mean, I remember seeing people freaking out over Reagan and Mondale when I was a child, and I'm like, this stuff doesn't interest me, and you know, and you can kind of see through it. I don't know. I just feel like getting caught up in it is more of a tradition in the country of life.
I have a 54-year-old son who has never been on social media, avoids it like the plague, and he said one of the greatest things to me. He was here for a weekend, and I was writing, and then I was reading stuff. And then I was at my computer and I was working on a story. And he said, Mom, you know what I love about you? He said, you create as much as you consume.
Oh, that's very sweet.
He said, you know, I'm around my friends all the time and they're on their phone and they're looking up this and they're, you know, looking at Captain America's dick and all this. And he's like, but they're not producing anything. They're just
putting out their own dick picking.
Yeah, that's right. Good point, Ben.
Okay.
But that stuck with me. That was like, create more than you consume. Like, if you're going to consume all this shit, then put an outburst. Yeah. Something should come of it.
A lot of information.
That's a great statement.
Okay, we're running out of time. Let's just do our last. I would like to talk about our last topic here because
the future of comedy. That's all. I wrote down future of comedy. There's a skull and the demise of everything right behind me there, which I feel is suitable. But just a quick thought, based on what you're seeing right now, you know, what are your feelings on the future of comedy in the current COVID time right now? We'll start with you, Chelsea. What do you think?
I actually want to hear what you have to say, Dave. I want to hear what you think. I do, because I value your opinion a lot, and you and I have been doing comedy for a long time. I'd like to hear what you have to say before I say mine.
I love it. I love this shit. I've been loving the Zoom. I've been loving doing all the weird shows that we do in the parking lot with the cars honking or whatever, or just doing the social distance shows because there's less people you got to talk to afterwards. Because actually, as anybody who knows, I'm not a fan of popular shit. I like the fact that when, you know, when we do these intimate shows, you know, anything, I love the intimacy factor of things, and comedy's been forced to be more intimate, and that is so difficult for the collective group of all the saying the same shit for like of the cool kids and all that stuff. And so that's why I enjoy watching. I don't like seeing people unhappy, that's for sure. But comedy is such a luxury that I'm like, I kind of enjoy seeing the challenge that it's being put through. It's forcing me to kind of, and again, I'm not too bothered by it. I think everything will return to normal. It's just going to take a long fucking time because everybody's making it so difficult with refusing to wear masks, not doing their best to kind of like limit their, you know, ongoings and whatnot. You know, and I have my guilty pleasures too, but at the same time, you know, I'm not doing things deliberately to, you know, it's like I bring my hand sanitizer. I never carried hand sanitizer anywhere. I carry the hand sanitizer. My folks are picking me up on Tuesday. We wear masks in the car when we're around each other, and we try to keep a distance from each other because, you know, but also my mom sends me vitamins. I don't know about your moms, but my mom sends me all kinds of vitamins that I gotta take on a regular basis. And so she was onto it long before Joe Rogan. All right, she was the one talking vitamin D to me and all that. I got my gummies right here. These are the elderberry gummies. So that's the future of comedy for me. Lots of vitamins, Zoom, and whatever weirdo shows.
Oh my God, I loved your mom before this, but I mean that just.
I love her so much.
I can't wait for you to be my mother-in-law.
And I love this. I love the look on my stepdad's face too. So
signing up for vitamins.
It's
Can't
going to be
wait.
a beautiful thing. Yeah. So no, Dave, I have to agree with you because as much as I will complain about Zoom, I do like the fact that comedy has forced people to step out of the box and get creative with shows.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
part I've absolutely loved. I like that comedy is starting to come back and that we're able to do it outside, you know, because when like things were open, like before all of this, you know, intimate shows or outdoor shows were kind of looked down upon and like people weren't about it. And I love those things. Like my little show in Benicia was a very small show, and I absolutely loved that because of the intimacy. So you're right. Like Zoom shows are forcing people to be intimate. We're also working with comics that we may not have been able to work with, you know, like from all over the world. It's like we're all coming together. Yeah. And I've always referenced that stand-up comedy is kind of like an inside joke, you know, where like you'll never get this group of comics, you'll never get this group of audience members together in a room again. And it's kind of like that with this, you know, and like we're creating these intimate like inside jokes. And I have to say, I will complain about certain Zoom shows if they're not run right or if they're weird. I embrace them. I still do them. Yeah. I have to agree with you because I'm having a great time. I love it. I'm having fun. I'm not wearing pants, and it's phenomenal. Like it's just like
that's wow. That's good. That's a good ending. Jacqui, how's the future of comedy working for you?
I agree. I hated Zoom when it started, and I avoided it at all costs because it's not stand-up comedy. It's not what I loved. It's not the audience in front of you, and I kind of eased into it with like writing workshops and hangouts with comics, and now it is so. Yes, I have performed in Australia, Japan. I was on a show where one of Conan's writers was on it. Like I was like for real, and I love look at Jenny Laughs at Laughs Unlimited. You know, she's got this outdoor comedy thing. We've got drive-ins. Who thought drive-ins would ever open up again? We've got drive-ins where we're doing this. And I love, again, back to create more than you consume. You know, I love that it's expanding people's stuff. Do I want stand-up comedy? Oh, fuck, I did a live show last night. I almost creamed my pants on stage.
You feel so much better, yeah. No, you do feel, makes you appreciate it more.
It was like, or even that show we did out in the parking lot, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Just like, you were talking to kids like they were right there.
Hey! I was doing crowd work. All right, the kids just happened to be there. Got to be careful with this.
I got to be very careful.
Not allowed to be near kids.
He was dropping knowledge like Uncle Dave kind of shit, and they were eating it up. It was awesome, and you don't get that in a Zoom. I mean, Chelsea, I feel like you and I had a moment there for a minute, but you know, you don't get that, but you have to keep reinventing yourself. I'm all about reinventing yourself. I've done it so many fucking times. I'm tired.
That's the thing. It's part of the gig. So that's why I feel like
I think
this is death. So.
I think Zoom will stay. I hope it stays. I still want to do a show in France on a Tuesday night at midnight, you know, kind of thing. Even when I just have a show this weekend in front of live people. So I think it adds more instead of like this big abyss. It feels like an abyss sometimes, but I think it adds more, and we have to hang on to that stuff.
Go on.
That's my
Ben, you're pretty much retired, so we'll skip you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What the fuck? What are your thoughts, Ben?
I agree with every Zoom point that everybody said, but I don't think, because we've had 6 months of Zoom, probably have another 3, 4, who knows how long. I don't think that it will go away, and I think that it exposes people in a platform where they go, I can consume comedy this way, and I don't want to consume comedy in another way where I have to pay for parking, 2-item, etc.
Yeah.
So this will stick around. I don't see it going away.
I agree. Yeah.
It's a good skill to have, and I agree with we all. Performing in front of a live audience is kind of like that's why we do it, right?
Yeah.
One of many reasons. I don't know. It's
sure, but it's the main one. The Zoom one is more challenging because it does not feel personal, but there are advantages to it. I think that similar like to an open mic where it's like, oh, I can do a joke here, it works. it works, doesn't kill, but it works. It will kill in a live setting. So in a way that's kind of advantageous, but it's just something that we're gonna, as comics, you're just gonna have to. You're gonna have to incorporate it into stand-up comedy.
You have no choice.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
Fucking choice.
You have no choice, because you can be like, oh, I'm an old guy and I my name is Mark and I just go and I do stand up the old way,
Or Sean
You
Boyle.
can,
Yeah.
but
Sean Boyle.
you're gonna be left behind in the dust, because there's gonna be plenty of people that say, you know what, you may not get me here and wherever the hell I live, but this demographic gets me. They subscribe to my channel, or etc. You're just gonna have to do it, man.
I lucked out because
it sucks as hell, dude.
I lucked out because the first show I did was with Chelsea and a couple other comics, and we did.
Yeah, lucked out if
You can't do it begrudgingly. I know that that's your instinct. It's like, I'm just doing it because I guess this is what I have to do. I know that's an instinct.
I got invited to do something. They said they had a lot of heavy tipping audience members,
Right.
and
But
Chelsea,
given their-
like the comics on it were cool, and we did
Yeah.
a panel style, just riffing type
Sure.
thing, and that was the first week of the thing, and then and really, it's not really to me. It's about it is about the crowd, but
But
you do.
the way that
You
you
win the
described
crowd,
it,
you win your freedom, and you get tips. And we got tipped very heavily that night.
but the way that you're describing is already like, okay, I don't want to do it, but you're telling me that I can. There's a good crowd. I can get tips.
I wasn't. It wasn't that I didn't want to do it. It's just that I'll try anything.
But that's what I'm saying. The
I'm
idea.
a whore. I'm a
the
whore.
idea of it
I
is
will try anything if the promise of money is at the end of it. That's what that. And
Sure,
that's
but the
a lot-
idea-
most
the-
comics right there too.
Right.
Yeah, totally, Dave. I was walking down. A friend of mine, Buddy Ramming, who does a show at Carol's Bookstore, and it's in a really bad part of town. And I wanted to go to my car and get my water, and I was walking, and I was all dressed in pink and heels, like I do sometimes. And this woman on the street, she just looked at me and she goes, "Fucking prostitute," and I looked at her and I go, "Really close? I'm a comedian. You got money? I'll perform." And I
I
was
would love it. I'd love it if prostitutes could do Zoom.
insulted. I was like, "Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. You pretty much nailed it." Yeah.
Funny.
All right. Well, I think we've. Eerie, did you have anything to add to this?
I think that the future of comedy. I mean, you guys already covered all the Zoom stuff. And
Another terrible podcast by comics. That's the future.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I will say this.
Right
I
here.
will say this. When things finally go back, it's going to be bananas, because people are going to be so excited to go out and see real comedy, live comedy.
They
But
are
again,
already. Yeah.
absolutely. But again, here's the thing: the people that were bitching about, like, oh, how are we going to do it? I don't want to do Zoom. You're idiots, because if you're creative enough to write comedy, you should be creative enough to figure out how to disperse comedy. So fuck you for people that are like, yeah, but it's not the same. Yeah, well, it's all we got, bitch. So let's do this. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's me. Okay.
Tell them. All right.
Before we go,
Yes.
can I just have a moment for Jacqui? If I ever see you, I got this forever. This is a nightlight.
Oh my God.
And I got you a pink to go with it. I hope it
that's
still
awesome.
stays
Look at that.
pink.
Oh
So
my
one of
God.
these days,
That. Oh my
you'll
heart.
get that.
Oh my heart.
So
Oh my heart.
Awesome.
I'm saving it for you. I just want you to know that.
Oh my
I just hope the pink stays pink.
That is awesome.
Sweetie Janine.
Also, by the way, I want to plug what's on every Tuesday, because she mentioned in the chat. For those who don't know, Melanie co-runs a Zoom open mic. If you want to check
Melon
it
Moon.
yeah, add her and check out her Zoom open mic on Tuesdays. It's Moon and Mel, right? Yeah, with her and Pete Munoz. So, and yes, we got our Venmo up there again in the chat and on Eerie's thing. Thank you once again. Cue the music there, Eerie. Thank you once again
Love you all.
for
I
joining us.
appreciate you guys showing up.
You guys are
That
wonderful.
was awesome. Thank you for
I
having
love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Guys, nice meeting you,
Do
Ben.
it all over
Hey, you guys
again.
are fantastic. Have a
Bye,
great.
guys.
We'll see you all. See you later. Have a good one.
Thanks, everybody. Good seeing you, Chelsea. Thanks for
I'm
joining us.
sorry, my internet.
Don't worry about it. No, I figured as much. No, you kidding me? It's all good. All good.
Chelsea, I love you.
I love you, baby. Good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
Hey, Chels, before you go, donate to.
Fuck out of here, Ben.
Donate to this.
We'll see you. Shoot your Jackie and Ben. Shoot your
hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I just had this cigar on. That's a good cigar. I'm gonna buy more of those.
Yeah, I hope so. And give me one. Shoot your Venmos to us in the chat, and we'll.
Thanks, guys, man. That was really. Guys.
Glad you had a
Have a great week, everybody.
You too.